What's up, friends and family? I just got home and look what's on my doorstep. It's a delivery from Layne Labs. These are some of my favorite days, and you'll see why. You see I only got little buckets of water up here. You'll see what that's for in a little bit. But I'm going to bring this box in, open it up for you, and give you guys a review about how much a delivery like this is going to cost, and also kind of the quality of Layne Labs here, and I'll show you why I order from them exclusively. And they're not a sponsor or anything like that, but I do appreciate them, and I want to show you their quality feeders here. So I'm going to open up this box, and one of the first things you'll notice that I really love about Layne Labs is their quality shipping. Here you can see this recyclable fiber insulation that they use to pack it up. So it's no more styrofoam. They used to use styrofoam, and they got out of that, and it's this reusable and recyclable foam, and it's taped in together nice. Everything is taped in real nice, and it's packed up with dry ice too. So this package was ice cold, even though it had been on the porch for a few hours. And again, if you just want to throw away this packaging, that's fine too. But you could also reuse it. If you are a breeder that ships snakes, you could save your Layne Labs packaging and use this stuffing for the padding that you'll need to keep your baby snakes insulated as well during shipping. So that's something to consider. It is nice seeing this environmentally friendly stuff. And here you can see there's dry ice. Be very careful when dealing with dry ice. I only touch the bags. I don't touch the ice within it. That's why I kind of have to wiggle around here. Because if you grab it with your fingers, it will hurt. If you touch the ice directly with your fingers, it can cause burns. And through the plastic, it'll cause burns too, but it gives you a little quick second in case you touch it. It's not as bad as direct contact, but you really don't want to touch it. But I'm going to save that for later because dry ice is one of my favorite things to play with. And what I want to do here too, I want to give you guys a good breakdown of how much everything costs. So this is 50 hopper mice, and they are 90 cents a piece. So I want to give you guys weekly breakdowns of how much the snake food costs per week per snake. So for my neonate rainbow boas, this one's easy. I feed them once a week. They get one hopper mouse per week. One hopper mouse is 90 cents. It's 90 cents per week to feed a baby rainbow boa. And next one's going to be a little icy, so I'm going to have to dust that off, and you're not going to get a good view with the glare. I apologize, but it's small, medium rats. And these are $3.75 each, and these are going to be in your 50 to 79 gram range. Now, I'll feed 5 of these per month to 3 different snakes. 2 per month to the female, 1 per month to the male rainbow boa, and 2 per month to my super dwarf retic. That comes out to $18.75 for the month. Divide that by the 3 snakes. $6.25 per month. Divide that by 4 weeks, and you've got $1.56 per snake. All right, and next in here, I'm going to dig out the weaned rats. Now, I have 2 snakes, my Colombian rainbow boa, who has a kink in her spine, and my young female super dwarf, who both eat these, and they eat about 6 per month total at $2.75, bringing us to $16.50. Same as before, we'll divide that by 2 snakes, and then divide that by 4 weeks, bringing us to $8.25, and then finally down to $2.06 per snake per week. Of course, I feed quite a variety of prey sizes and prey items, and you'll get to see a few of those as well, but having weaned rats on supply is so great because bigger snakes can eat it, and most of the little snakes can, especially once they're adults. So weaned rats are fantastic to have on hand. And here's just the other bag of small, medium rats. When you order 20, they send you 2 bags of 10. So that's the end of this order. I want to open it up, though, and show you what some of these look like, actually. So stick around. Let me get this box out of here, and I'll come back and open one of these bags and bring in some other feeders as well. And so here's that bag of weaned rats, and this one happened to be all white. And here is one of those weaned rats. Look how clean it is, neatly frozen. You can still in good shape, not freeze burn, not covered in ice. The feet are clean. You could tell that the rodents didn't live in their own waste, which is important to me, both for the quality of the rodent and just for their lives too. That matters as well. So this bag happened to be all white. It's kind of interesting. You could pay and request all white and black. Here I was looking for one of a different color, but I didn't find any. They were all white. So it's just one of the funny things. My snakes aren't picky. Some of them maybe. You could order them special at Layne if you want. And I want to show you some of the larger prey items that I already have in my freezer too. So I'll be right back. So one thing I do to save space is I'll double up prey items. So even though this bag is just for quail, you'll see the first thing I pull out here is my medium large rats. And these larger rats, you'll see is something different here. So, and actually in this one, it's going to show up. He's got a little poo-poo on his butt coming out of there, and that'll happen sometimes when the animals die. So it's not the same. Again, like I said, the feet are clean. They're not walking around in their waste. But you know what? It was a living animal. It is a whole prey item. There is going to be that element, and sometimes when you defrost it, those will break loose and that sort of thing too. So if you want to wipe your rat clean when you're defrosting it, I understand. And there I was playing with a little bit of freezer burn on the ear. So just those small areas like that after 3 or 4 months get burned. But otherwise, storing them inside the Layne Labs packaging is a really good way to increase longevity of these items, because the bags are pretty thick and somewhat insulated as far as bags go. So I'll do that when my freezer space starts to be at a premium. I will consolidate bags together. And these are the quail. So again, these have been in my freezer for a long time, probably about 6 months. This one actually had a couple pieces of ice cubes in the feathers. However, the feathers do a great job of keeping it from the meat. And this is just about 100 grams of quail right here too. So it's quite a large meal for a lot of animals. A ball python, this is going to be about the maximum size they could take down. I feed it to my Brazilian rainbow boas. Really just as a big treat. And that really goes the same for those medium-large rats. Really just give them to the female around breeding season. So here you go. You can see I stuffed this bag full of medium-sized prey, and this was a bag for their day-old chicks. I like that they come really flat-packed in packs of 25. They really stack nicely in the freezer, but here it's bulked out because I added some things. Like there's some reptilinks that I kept in there. There's a little small bag of hopper mice that I've been feeding. And here's something I want to show you. These are the day-old quail. And day-old quail, they come packaged together. And, birds have kind of a funny shape, so they'll freeze. They'll get their feet stuck together and their beaks and that sort of thing. And during transit, it's not uncommon for some dismemberment, actually. So if you order day-old quail, just, expect that some of them may fall apart. It's just an unfortunate sort of aspect. But actually, I found feeding quail heads to really small snakes is a lot of times easier than feeding a whole quail body. See what else I'm keeping in here. And these are the chicks, the day-old chicks. And same thing with the quail. Birds freeze in kind of funny positions. I love how the packaging is stored flat in the freezer. I'll try and get one that looks a little bit different. But more or less, you can see kind of the yellow fluff and the brown fluff in these chicks, and they're really, really cheap, really easy to feed your snakes. And these are anywhere from 90 cents to $1, depending on how many you buy. I buy 50, and they come in at, I believe it's $1 each. So right around the cost of the hopper mouse for about twice the amount of prey than you would get from a hopper mouse. So worth considering buying day-old chicks if you get it. Now I'm going to move on to one of my more favorite parts of the feeder delivery day. And that's playing with the dry ice, baby. Drop a few of these cubes in the buckets of water I got out earlier in the episode, and just really enjoy the sort of visual display that these put on. I've always enjoyed this. I don't know why. It's stimulating to me, so I like to spend about 30 minutes after my delivery day and just play with dry ice and water. Now be careful with this. You want to make sure you're in a ventilated room when you do it. It is carbon dioxide. It's not poisonous, but it's not breathable either, and it's heavier than air. So if you're in a small room, it will sink to the floor and suffocate anything that's on the ground. Great for killing living things that are stuck down a drain, but like flies and things that might grow down there, but not so great if you're in a small room with pets. And that's actually how you make a euthanasia chamber for rats. Anyways, we'll get back to the average cost of the feeders here, because that's something that I found interesting, and actually how affordable it is. So using these old numbers, comes out to a total of $14.20 over 11 total snakes. And that brings us to an average of $1.30 per snake per week. Now, when you count the cost to feed an animal, $1.30 per snake is not bad. Keep in mind, if you have 11 snakes at home and 1 or 2 around work and other places in the house like I do, then it starts to add up, because, like I said, that's $14 a week, and that's certainly a lot more than a dog or a cat. But otherwise, it's really feasible to get to $1.30 per snake. So thank you so much for those who made it this far. If you did get this far, please consider subscribing to the channel if you aren't already. I find that only 20% of my viewers are actually subscribed, so please hit the subscribe. It does a lot. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, go ahead and find the link to Patreon in the description below. Thanks again, folks. Have a great day.